Mm.
Good. Recording has begun.
Mm. And so it is. So this represents our sacred fire today. And this is where whatever we share in this hour is invited to be anchored in this sacred fire. And at the end of the call, we will ask Great Spirit to take our personal stories and whatever Spirit can use from that to share them with whomever is needing support and loving goodwill sent their way. So we will begin with a few minutes of breathing, allowing the heart resonance to expand for each of us, and co-creating on the connection field a sacred place, a safe place to speak into that holy aspect of ourselves and others. Let's allow that. Allow whatever wants to be spoken by you, give it permission to surface. And when you feel that time is right, I will invite everyone to speak. I would also like to ask you to take yourselves off of mute unless you have distraction in the background, and just to be in the moment with us as fully as we can be. Last night I was given a dream, and I saw that we all have energy fields and energy patterns that are unique to us. Now we have a little bit of many different types of energy that express through us, but they synthesize. And according to where we are in any given moment, we have a pattern that is us, that we are an energy pattern. And so I would like us to just take a moment, and if you are willing to feel yours, I am willing to witness your story, as are we all. This is where we get to learn about ourselves and each other, maybe even in different ways. My lips are dry, so I have to put a little smoothie on. So for this woman, my energy always leads out from the heart and circles to the left. And then it begins to dance around me. And I am very sensitive, as are you, to the energy of others who are around me, and the known and the unknown energies. I would like to add that, because we may not see it with our eyes, but there are too many of us on this planet who do see it. And so I always like to think of myself as just being willing to be open and to allow the wisdom of the whole of humanity, because I cannot separate myself from the whole of humanity anymore at my age. I am just a part of the human family. So as I dance to the left, and then I also pulse. I have a pulse that, especially when I'm excited or I'm hearing a song or I'm engaging with someone, I begin to pulse. So that's what I know of my energy field. And I offer that into the sacred fire as who I am in an energetic capacity. And I am good.
I actually wanted to share because it felt really connected to this new story and co-creating the new story. There is some beautiful interpretation for this solstice that I
Mm.
would like to place in the sacred fire. Um, and so this is from, I don't know, I wanted to find her name, and that's why it turned on her YouTube thing. So it might again. So I'll find her name after I share it.
Okay.
So I liked her interpretation. It was very simple and direct. And this time is one of a huge energy of change, reset, and transformation. It's a major 0-point reset for humanity, both for the collective and the individual. Changes that humanity is destined to undergo are beginning to unfold. This will be especially in the next 6 months and will play out and unfold over the next 2 years. It will represent a turning away from old things that are not working, even though there may not be a clear path ahead. The best way to respond is to be present and to observe and tune in into the highest divine possibilities for this trajectory. Keep returning to love and reconnect with the heart and to our highest intention as to what can be birthed in you and in each of us as the time, at this time. And so that's kind of a beginning, but I just wanted to place that in the sacred fire because the theme of this hour, of this circle, it is, it almost feels like it's so much more real and urgent to begin to live into the new story in sacred and safe spaces, and just to imagine, like it said, I mean, I like those words of tuning into the highest divine possibilities for this trajectory. And I guess that what I'm getting, that means in each of our own new story where we are more fully stepping into our power, into our gifts, into why we came to this planet. And this connection field is a place where what came up last week is our practice field.
Yes.
That that we are opening, and I love the space you created the last time, Cassandra, of just, I mean, it's like being willing to try something new,
Mm-hmm.
or to be something new. And it was such a beautiful invitation. I'm not remembering your exact words, but also, I'm really wanting, in addition to this, the good of the whole and the connection field, and to really also encourage a greater recognition and living into our soul gifts.
Yes.
And to find places and spaces, whether it's with one other person or in the small groups, to do that, and maybe even to speak about what challenges are there that we have in doing so, so we can take the next step rather than taking little. So those are some things that are in my consciousness, in my heart, that I place into the fire and the circle, and I'm complete for now.
Oh, Henry, my brother, you are feeling it because you are being called. Robin and Kate feel it because we are answering the call, and we are showing up where our heart guides us. I may not know what's on the agenda for the day, but if my heart tells me, go, I go, because I'm willing to listen. And I think that that's part of the energy, Henry, that you are speaking about. So each of us has felt that already with this beautiful connection field. But I ask you, are we not also feeling this in our dream time and in the moments where we are just in quiet? Is there another type of communication that is happening? And are we receptive to it? Because we are multidimensional according to sacred science. And now is when humans are beginning to connect. We've had our ancestors who began to show us the way. And then we have had the storytellers who have told us the old stories and kept them alive for us as we went through our own version of those stories. And now, in the 21st century, we see in the world that new energy is entering in. And I got last night that this next 36 to 48 hours is so powerful. And we have the eclipse that happens, and we have the summer solstice that happens. But we have events happening in our own hearts, in our own energy fields that are informing us, and we're getting little snippets of that. And somehow it's coalescing, and in its perfect time, it will tell you who you are and what is yours to carry, what is yours to gift. All of those questions can be answered this century because humanity is finally willing to say, no more fear. No more putting people in a place that they don't belong and holding them there. Through manipulations, solely through manipulations and hate. All of that is being, it's like a shock wave going through our planet and out hundreds and hundreds of miles out beyond the atmosphere. And everything is vibrating. And it is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. Yes, it is a big breath and a big release. We can drop that burden basket. We can let go of our images of ourselves that no longer apply. As I experienced a healing today in a grandmother's circle, and my beautiful sister Robin reminded me that it is all now that this can happen if you believe and if you allow it. I want to add to her words and encourage Robin, if you feel called and your heart rises to this moment, share again your sentiments about the importance as we forgive to allow that process to be its process. But the intention, as our beloved Talia said, that once we begin to say, and I am ready to let this be my truth, that intention begins to do the work ahead of us. So we have all these forces helping us now. And it is so amazing. And we are so blessed that we are dancing with our ancestors and the future generations at the same time. We are entering a timeless envelope, if you will, that invites us to dream and work towards what we are asked to work toward. Small baby steps are fine. And if you're a community organizer, bigger steps are fine. It's whatever you have the unique voice and the unique gift of your own healing to share. That is our time. Oh, yes, it is our time. Oh.
Thank you for that invitation.
Mm.
From what I can recall, we were talking about ho'oponopono. Ho'o, the word ho'o, or whenever you see the word ho'o in front of word, that's a call to action. That means that you're readying yourself to do something. When a Hawaiian word like pono, which has its own meaning, which is to make something right or to be upright in your stance regarding something, when you see it repeated, when it's a double word like pono pono, that's the emphasis on the action and the feeling and the intent behind it. So ho'oponopono is a process where we offer to another person or an event or a memory or a part of our timeline that we want to clear. Some can do it face to face, some can't. So we throw it out there and we say, I forgive you, and we say why. Or if we are the offender, we tell somebody, I'm sorry, and we let them know what the event is. Or we offer that and say, I forgive you for not acknowledging what happened to me. And when we say that we are sorry, we state specifically what it is, the offense that was my part, whatever my part is.
Mhm. Mm. Mm. It's big Ho'oponopono time on our planet. Big time.
To be set free. So we're healing ourselves now and healing those that came before us and those that will come after us, so that our faults don't fall on the children and the children's children. And so when we say, I love you, and following that, it's a sincere way of filling that hole. What they couldn't receive as a child, they're now receiving as an adult. They couldn't receive as a grandparent in another lifetime, they're receiving now in this timeline. We're healing the moment in the here and now, as well as in the past, present, and future. So it's a lot more grander than just saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. It's a lot more deeper, a lot more wider, a lot more multiversal and multidimensional than that. Because every time somebody in this dimension sets themselves free by choosing to forgive and allowing the forgiveness to come and do the healing, it's doing it in every other timeline. It's doing it in every dimension as well. And so we don't just do it for ourselves. We do it for those who have been waiting for those healing words to begin and for the healing to come. For the healing that's already been done, we honor that, and we give everybody the dignity to to discover that for themselves and to be compassionate when they're not quite yet there on their journey. But at the same time, honor the fact that it's already been done. And so when it's appropriate, when our ancestors tell them, now you tell whoever, I obey, I listen, because I know that I know that I know the truth, and I'm here in this time to deliver it. And we always preface that with, don't shoot the messenger, because my messenger is not here in this timeline. My messenger is the one that tells me, and I just deliver the message. So with that, I'm whole and I'm complete, and I hope to continue this flow in this field of love. Thank you.
Mm. And into the fire your beauty goes, Robin. Thank you. Mm. These are miraculous times. We've had teachers come during times like this. But the day of the teacher may now be finished. And now it may be the inner knowledge and wisdom that you have inherited genetically and through your personal ancestors and your tribal memory. That's the new story. Because we're not going to do it like our parents and our grandparents were forced to do it. And we're not going to put injustices on whole groups of people anymore. We are liberated now, and in this time frame, this is our liberation. We can choose that, and then our new story automatically, energetically mingles with that of other people of loving goodwill. And before we know it, all of these new things are showing up, new ways of doing what we used to do a different way. So I listen, we all here, the four of us, we already listen. I celebrate you, each of you. This is a good time for us to be who we have always been. And we have chosen to be born again into this timeline so that we can become that expression, which starts in the humble heart. That's where it starts. That's where it lives. In the eyes of my sisters and brother, the humbleness that I feel as an energy wave from you is so powerful. I just want to acknowledge your personal ability to whatever your action, your heart and your mind tells you and you dream about, whatever that is, it is possible. This potentiality, the 21st century, allows for the healing, for the good of the whole, for humanity. My drum is being made, but oh, I'm drumming in my heart. I am singing in my heart. And I'm sweating. The energy is so strong when I'm around catalytic people like you. Waterworks. Hello, beloved Shelley. Welcome. Welcome, dear sister. As you well know, we are allowing the impulse to move us and respecting the silences. And inviting each other to speak when it feels right and we feel good about it, without demand.
So I just thank you, Cassandra, and I guess I'm kind of being called again to speak the invitation of our soul gifts here to be shared in all the different dimensions and domains, and in a certain way it's like, but it's different than the sectors of the wheel of co-creation that Barbara spoke about. It's more on a soul level, where that was kind of more with the picture and the social and governmental and whatnot. So I'm still kind of working with that, but opening to I mean, it's almost like tribes within tribes of, of teachers, of artists, musicians, of ceremonialists, of uniters, of transformers, uh, and also visionaries. And there's probably more. I was just kind of exploring that to find ways to come together to also cultivate those different facets of that are within each of us to varying degrees, and to invite that, but also to find ways to go deeper and to connect and support one another in becoming voices or vehicles for the new story, for the new way. So that's something I'm kind of contemplating, so that we invite, or we have spaces or for the greater fullness of our individual soul gifts, and to be seen and recognized, and as well to cultivate for the good of the whole in a way that, in the ways that they can be used that are best of service. And so in a sense, it's like different sectors of the wheel, but it's, or different facets, or even aspects of the rainbow of life.
Yes.
That each of those colors has its individual, purpose, and also the tending to the stewarding and caring for the earth, to make each as vibrant, and as life affirming and life giving as we can. So I think I'm complete for now.
Thank you so much, Henry. And that is our truth. That is our truth if we accept it. Welcome, Mary Kate. This is a place where we are inviting ourselves to reveal to ourselves as well as to others what is showing up for us and what is moving us forward in this 21st century, and what are we supporting for our brothers and sisters. This is where we want to build that connection and allow that story to reveal itself. And Henry has just spoken beautifully about how this is our opportunity to allow this to show up. Welcome, Philip.
So,
Cassandra,
sorry, we need to begin to shift for tonight's. Chief Philip Scott is here with us. Just want to let you know, I wanted to introduce him.
Thank you. Thank you for that introduction. We haven't met yet. So I'm very grateful that you are here and that we can begin that process. My heart is so full. That is all I can say. And I would like to acknowledge the good of the whole mentors and stewards who bring this time for each one of us who are called to speak from our truth. And in doing so, to have that energy vibrate out into the world and to meet with all of the others who are in a like energy visioning with us, that we may find one another. And so we're going to begin to close, and I'm going to pass this over. Shelley, do you want me to pass it over to you first? Okay, we will do that. and then we will begin the next hour.
Don't
May
forget
all-
to take your recording off first, though.
That's Henry is going to do that.